everybody. Thank you for coming along tonight to the Asiana. I'd like to thank Fraz and Sher for putting for allowing us to do this launch here tonight for the show at the Oasis on June the 7th. I'm going to call up the boxers. They're going to be on the show. One's already made it. Okay, so I'll introduce Wayne Ingram from Gloucester. Wayne's a middleweight. He's had 1 fight, 1 win. Anyone's to progress from there. Next up, Thomas Jarvis, the light welter. Thomas has had 3 bouts, 3 wins. Well done, Thomas. Thank you. Thomas is from Reading, and also from Reading is Temuka Mucha, who's a welterweight. Temuka has had 8 bouts, 8 wins. Looking good. Okay. Then next up, Swindon's Ryan Martin, welterweight. He's had 1 bout, 1 win. Well done, Ryan. Okay, next up then, we got Tarek Quados. Tarek? Yeah. Tarek's been a bit of a busy lad. He boxed only 3 weeks ago and had a good win. He's actually boxing this Saturday in Peterborough. So he's a busy boy at the moment. Well done, Tarek. Next up, Lawrence Bennett. Lawrence Bad Boy Bennett, who won the Swindon Cruiserweight title. What's that, about 6 weeks ago? Something like that. We've been looking to get him to go for his Southern Area title, but something's come along which is quite interesting. We've been offered, all being well, a boxer by the name of Chris King from Warsaw. Chris has had 13 fights, 12 wins and 1 loss for the British Eliminator title, which is a really big ask for him. It's just got to be officiated by the boxing board, but verbally we're there, so hopefully that'll be on June the 7th. Okay, so good stuff, that's a big shout out. And lastly, Penhill Swindon are Kelvin Young. Kelvin, the current IBO title holder. We're close to getting him opponent. We got a name, Nicholas Dion, but it's not confirmed. But hopefully, days, a week or so, we should have a name for him. So there we go. That's the lineup we got here. If anybody wants to ask any questions, you're more than welcome.
What do we know about Nicholas Dion, who's fighting Kelvin?
Yeah, go on, Kelvin.
Well, we're doing a bit of research on Nicholas Dion. He's had 12 pro fights, won 11. As an amateur, he won the French title. He boxed for the Three Nations for France, beating Brazil and Iran, I think it was. He boxed in the World Series and got to the quarterfinals of the World Series. So he's got a lot of big amateur pedigree behind him, and he's got a good record in the pros. So. And I've been watching videos of him, so and he comes to fights. I think hopefully if we can get this opponent to bring the best out of him. Yeah, we're going to be looking forward to a good fight come fight night.
Thanks, Kelvin. With us this evening we got Chris Sandiger, Chris from Bristol. That's his freelance on his right. Chris, do you want to say a couple of words?
Yeah, sure. Just to say how excited I am at Kelvin defending his title here in Swindon. I mean, when he won that night, you know, it was a great contest. You know, it was nip and tuck. You know, his opponent just kept coming, and Kelvin was working behind the jab, and you know, it was a great fight, and you know, everyone really enjoyed it. I'm pleased to say that I've got 3 of my lads on the card. They're all unbeaten. First of all, is Temuka Mucha. He's 8-0. He's a tremendous prospect, and hopefully, you know, we'll see him boxing for titles here very shortly. To my right is Thomas Jarvis. He's 3-0, done very well. He's boxed here in Swindon previously, and likewise, you know, he will also box for titles. My new boy is Wayne Ingram. He boxed up in Gloucester on Keith's show. He's 1-0, again unbeaten, and he's a former schoolboy and junior champion, and we're expecting big things from him as well. So, like, we've got a great card, and I'm going to hand you over to Keith, and he'll tell you all about Lawrence Bennett and the other Swindon boys.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, Richard, would you like to say a couple of words? Richard Farnham is a trainer of both Tarek and Kelvin. He's never short of a few words. Go on.
He's really shy, isn't he?
He always does it though, doesn't he? He stitches me up every single time. What do you want to know? We're mid-training camp. We're 4 weeks away this Saturday night. Training's going well. Obviously, myself and Kelvin, if any of you guys are on Facebook, you'll be having a look. We're spending at least 1 or 2 days every single week up in Sheffield, where we're training and sparring with Carl Froch and a few of the other Team GB lads like Anthony Fowler and that. So we've got a great mix of sparring for Calvin at the minute. We've got the speed of the amateurs and the intensity of Carl. Calvin's holding his own, more than holding his own. We had a bit of a torrid one yesterday though, because if you're going to put money on anybody on May the 31st, then I'd go with the big guy if I was you. I wouldn't bother with George at the minute, because from what we saw yesterday, my God, George Groves is in big trouble.
No way to that big right hand.
let's put the money on that one.
I'll put money on it.
But Cal's there, you know. From the 8 rounds that he did with Carl yesterday, in total, since we've been going up there since April last year, Cal's completed 110 rounds of sparring with Carl, and every single one of them rounds he's been on his feet, and Carl has let him have it at times, and certainly recently Cal's let Carl have it as well, so it's been a fantastic experience. So, now I've got footage of that, but obviously I can't put it anywhere because of obviously the training that's going on behind closed doors, but you will get to see it at some stage. But you know, training's going well, we've intensified it. We're looking forward to whichever opponent we get. If we get this Nicholas Dion, we've already had a look at him, so we know what he's going to bring. He comes to fight. Looks a bit of a chunky lad, you know. He's well built. He's big for the size of super middleweight, but he's got an amateur pedigree. But you know, we've not seen anything that we can be too scared of what he's bringing. But he will come to fight. So we've got to be on our game, and we will be working on that game plan pretty soon. Also on the bill, we've got Tarek. First of all, got Tarek out this weekend, Saturday night in Peterborough. Unfortunately, we just had a change of opponent. We'd had a game plan for a lad called Jamie Ambler. It's now changed to Jody Meikle. Any of you guys in the boxing world who know Jody Meikle, he calls himself the one-man riot. He's entertaining, he mucks around, very frustrating to box. But that's who we got on Saturday night. Jody's retiring in 3 fights time, I think it is. So we're going to do a number on Jody come Saturday night, because so far Tarek's had 2 fights with himself and he hasn't lost a round yet, let alone a fight. He's won every single round he's been in. The same will happen on Saturday night. We will come out winning every single round again. And then we're working on towards getting an opponent for June the 7th, where again we'll be looking to do exactly the same, not drop another round. So it's going to be a good night, June the 7th, and you know, we're all excited because this big man sat in front of me now is eliminated for the British title. You know, that's massive, absolutely massive. So well done for getting that opportunity between Keith and Chris, and well done for Lawrence for accepting the challenge. Just be victorious.
Thanks, Richard. I wonder if the shy lad got a couple of words to say?
I don't like public speaking, really. I get a bit embarrassed, but not really. I'm really excited to just be back in Swindon. If this British title in there comes off, we're going to go for it, because this is what I got into boxing for. They said I couldn't win the Southern area. I went to his town and I beat him. Now they're saying I can't get a British title. He's going to come to my town and I'm going to beat him. Then we've got the British title next. I want to thank my sponsors, Abbey Removals, Dream Lounge, all the people that supported me, Chris, for getting Dean to beating me up last camp, and Keith for obviously organising a lot of things. A lot of hard times have gone on behind boxing. People don't see the hard work that we put in, but every single one of us, we sacrificed everything day in, day out for a dream that it's only half an hour in the ring, but 7 days a week, we're thinking about it. If we're not at the gym, we're watching film. If we're not watching film, we're out on the roads, we're in the gym, we're doing something. So we support all the guys on the card. Big shout to Tamuka as the second best looking black guy on the bill. he knows it as well. But he's a talent, seriously, he's a real talent and that. And obviously all the guys, we work really hard, and without you guys coming to support us, it wouldn't happen. So thanks a lot to all the sponsors and everyone that come out to support us. Thanks a lot, guys.
Okay, Manjit, you here somewhere?
Oh, good.
Manjit. Okay, all these lads have got their trainers.
Oh, yeah, I
But,
forgot.
Man's out the back making sure.
here he is. But there's a lad we use, he's got his own gym and he looks after the boys, nutrition boys. So, Manjit, do you want to say a few words?
Yes, yeah, don't mind. Islam, where are you? Where's Islam? Get him up. Where's Islam?
Hi guys, firstly I'd like to say thank you to Keith and all the boxers for having me as part of their team. I'm a little cog in a big machine that works. Basically what I do with the guys is motivation, nutrition and explosive power training, which is very different from going into a standard gym and using the normal weights. What we have at my studio is standard what you find in every other gym, but there's a lot of bespoke equipment in there. We use chains, bands to stress the muscles in so many different ways. We do make sure that the eccentric and the concentric, the two different parts of the muscle, are firing exactly how a professional boxer wants them to fire. It works different for a bodybuilder, for a footballer, and so on and so forth. And the strength training part of that is a bit different from just weights. I have a machine which is invented by myself. We call it the 3D trainer. It stresses the core area of the body. You can go lower and higher as well, but mainly the core area in all three planes of movement at exactly the same time. And Lawrence has had a good go at it before we went for the Southern Area title. One thing everybody knew is that Lawrence hadn't done 10 rounds. Sparring 10 rounds and actually getting into the ring and doing 10 rounds, totally different things. So we mimicked those 10 rounds on the 3D. So we were doing 3 minutes, 10 rounds with 1 minute rest. And then from there, he was basically just going forward, backwards, with a stress that's pulling in 3, 4, 5 different directions depending on which angle he's going in. So it's stressing the body, putting his central nervous system into places where it's never been before. Is exactly what was going to happen in those 10 rounds. At the same time, it's not easy, as the bad boys already said. What you guys, or us guys, all don't actually see is on the night, it's a bit like a duck on water. On the night, you see the duck, it looks fantastic, brilliant, but underneath, legs to keep it up there are going 100 miles an hour, and that's exactly how it is for these guys. Another little thing, I'll stop in a moment, another little thing that I look after with the guys is their nutrition. As I'm sure you all know, it's important for a boxer to make the weight, that's very important, but more important with the nutrition is how they've made the weight. What they don't want to be is starving, dehydrated, or anything like that. That's no good. The boxer's never going to be strong enough. So especially with Lawrence and with Kelvin, because they're able to weigh the night before, what we do is we do a very, being a scientist, a very simple manipulation of the carb cycle. So they're always eating. When they get up to the weighing scales, bang on. And so far, nobody who's been with me has either been a pound over or a pound under. Anyway, that's a little bit that I do. I'm going to pass it back to Keith, I think. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Manjit. Ryan, you're very quiet there. Got a few words to say to people?
ABA champ. ABA champ, what's that then? X.
Just want to say I'm looking forward to the 7th of June. Had a little setback with a hand injury, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be 100% for June and feeling good about it. I had an awkward opponent on my first fight and thought I handled it well. But yeah, thanks to all the sponsors, Verologic, Core Construction and Flick Wiltshire. They all helped me with my training, felt 100% and hopefully same again. So, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ryan. Tarrant, say a few words? Tarrant, say a few words?
Yeah, it's
It was good to get back on the last show in Swindon. That was my first one back with a 5-year gap. Now I'm back at it full pace now. And I was up against a game opponent as well. He was making his debut, so he weren't there just for a payday. He was there for the win. So it was an intense fight. Ended up winning all 4 rounds on that one as well. Not last week, the week before I was in Gloucester, keeping busy again, up against a game opponent, wild at times, but controlled the fight, won every round again. Now I'm out in Peterborough again on Saturday, and then after that we've got 4 weeks until this show, and I'm just looking at polishing every performance, getting better and better, staying in the gym twice a day at least, and just polishing the performance and working my way up the rankings. When the time does come for title shots and opportunities like Lawrence has had, I'm going to take advantage of them because I'm going to be ready. So, and also just like Lawrence said as well, these shows wouldn't be what they are without all of you lot there supporting and, you know, buying your tickets. So I really do appreciate all the support, and I'll see you all there on June 7th.
Yeah.
He's not as good looking as me, is he? He's not as good looking.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back in Swindon again for my 9th fight. I think for this one we'll be I've stepped up to 8 rounds now. You know, this will be my 2nd fight in doing an 8-rounder. I'll be also going down to a new weight class, which is about 10 stone 5. It's new territory for me, so hopefully, you know, I want to be able to give another great performance and live it all out there in the ring. As you all know, for this fight, for this training camp, we went out to America and we got to spar at a great wildcard gym, and also among some other great gyms in America. We had a great time out there, and I think it's prepared me and definitely improved me to the next level that I've always wanted to be. I think you'll definitely see something special in this fight, something that I haven't done before. I always look to improve on my opponents for each and every fight. So, you know, I'm ready to get June the 7th rolling and bring in another spectacular performance. So thank you all for coming. Yeah. Cheers.
It's going to be 2nd time fighting in Swindon. It was good last time, good atmosphere. Really just been in the gym, training hard, just each day, you know, just trying to get better and perfect what I do. Just taking it one fight at a time at the moment, and you know, just trying to improve on every performance. Had some hard sparring recently, sparring with Samuka as well, which is always good. So yeah, that's cool really. Be happy to be back and box again.
Thanks, Thomas. Go on.
When Ingram can't talk.
He can fight now, I hear.
He's lost his bottle. Anyway, I'll just say that Wayne is very pleased to be on the show. It's a great prospect. He was a great amateur. You know, won the Western Counties and national titles numerous times as a junior, and you'll all be pleased to see him on the night. Okay.
Thanks, Chris. Boxers, I don't know if anybody wants to ask anybody any questions. You're welcome.
I've got a few. Apologies, I was a bit late, so if you're repeating yourself. But, Kelvin, you're sparring with Froch again. Can you talk about how it's going and how it's helping you come along?
Yeah, I've been sparring Froch now for near on a year. We've done 110 rounds over a year. Learning all the time from sparring with Carl. You know, this week he was really on top of his game this week, and you know, I've done 8 rounds with him.
Yeah.
They was complimentary on myself. So, you know, being up there with the likes of Richie Woodall and that, giving you advice and Bob McCracken, I'm only learning all the time. And obviously using all the facilities up there, as well as training with the Team GB lads. I'm learning all the time. So, you know, on the next fight, I'm looking for a big performance, defending my title, and you know, it's hard to win the title, but it's harder to keep hold of it. So, I'm looking forward to putting on a good show.
Lovely job. for 2014, how would you like to see the year play out?
Just want to get this defence out of the way. I can't think of anything more than that, to be honest. Just gonna just take one step at a time, defend my title, win it, and then go for another defence. We'll see what happens after that.
Thanks ever so much. Got a couple from Lawrence. You took an away fight and you won the Southern area. Did you expect it? How did that fight kind of come about last night?
Basically, I got beat by on the last Swindon show, and we went back to the gym, and my manager Keith rang me and said, well, this guy is called, he thinks it's an easier fight, but do you want it? And I said, damn right I want it. I said, what's on the line? He said, Southern area. I said, I'm there. And then he told me 10 rounds. I went, oh God, 10 rounds. So I better hit the road. So that's how it come about, and the rest is history. We went there, we got the result. I think it was 98-94. We outclassed the kiddie. I had a bad night at Swindon, but in London we had a very good night, and it's just about maintaining and showing people now that I'm a championship fighter. I'm better than the last fight. I'm going to keep improving.
Lovely, thank you very much. Could you talk a bit about how Kelvin's getting on and settling down as a champion?
Cal's always been settled from day one. As soon as he's won the belt, Cal's Kelvin feet. Everybody that knows his family and friends and who know him in the gym, Kelvin's feet are always firmly on the ground. Never goes to his head, never will go to his head. He'll walk back into the gym and he trains as if he's not the champion. Kel will always train like an underdog, and he will work as hard as anybody else there is in the gym. It means everything to him. So our training does change. It's never the same for each training camp. We're working on things and new things all the time. Anything I ask Kel to do, he does. And he puts maximum effort into everything because he knows the benefits. And we're just improving all the time. We're just getting better, stronger, faster, fitter. Just working on new things. A few weeks back when we were up with Carl again, I asked Kel when we started this fight, get on the front foot, see if he could push him back, and he did, and he pushed Kel back for 3 or 4 rounds. He was very dominant in that sparring. So it's a new tactic, because Kel's fantastic. He's brilliant on the back foot. He'll box people's heads off all night long on the back foot. So it's now a case of let's try getting a little bit more on the front foot and see how much we can dominate rounds. We've had sparring with some guys from Wales, and again he's done exactly the same. He's put it on him, properly put it on him. There was a young lad that's looking to be a prospect that makes his debut on the 17th of this month on the undercard of Lee Selby. And he's very game, very fast, whatever. But the first 8 rounds that Cal did with him, he was on the front foot pushing back the whole 8 rounds. Gary Lockwood then said afterwards, he said, that was fantastic. He said, nobody in this gym has been able to do that with him. They all hold off and let him do what he wants to do. He's never had that kind of pressure. So we are adding things, and at this moment in time, everything is going absolutely fantastic. So couldn't be happier.
Thank you very much. Good one to Tarek, if I may. Tarek, you had a bit of a break. You started when you were 18.
Yeah.
And how do you think your comeback is going 2 fights in?
Well, it's going perfect, really. Could be better. I mean, I've won both fights, won every round of both of them. More disciplined this time round. Got my head screwed on. I know what I want. And it's just about, in between fights, staying fit, staying active, which is exactly what I'm doing. So just on about improving after every single fight, working my way up the rankings, and then when the opportunities come, take by the next sort of thing, and then move on from there.
Lovely job, thank you.
Got a quick question over here, guys.
I think Uncle Calvin's going to win the fight.
Okay, thank you. Tarek, Richard. Will, any other questions, anybody?
I'll talk all night, shut me up. Ryan, you were really impressive on your debut. Did you feel it went, well, it was a flawless performance. Do you feel your style's a bit more suited to the pros or the amateurs?
To be honest, I was actually worried about the changeover to the pro game, but I think I've adapted well. I love planting my feet, sort of moving my head, picking my shots. I think that's me all over. Yeah, I was really happy with the performance. Like I said, I had an awkward opponent, but handled it well. There was only one tactic for him really, just sort of move around him, keep the shots going. And yeah, hopefully I'll have some more exciting fights and it'll all keep going well.
Lovely job, thanks very much.
Do you feel you use tactics on most fights as like what you was doing is awkward for everyone to fight? To me it seemed like almost like Manny Pacquiao when he fought Rios was like constantly rounding every single time.
That's a compliment, cheers mate.
Manny Pacquiao? What's that
I mean, I always go in with plans in my head, but I like to think that I can adapt to whatever fighters give to me, and just sort of change the way I fight, whether it be offensive, defensive, countering. I think I can do it all, to be honest. And, yeah.
How many rounds are you doing this time?
I think it'll be 4 3s or 6 2s. Not completely sure yet, but we'll get that sorted.
And Lawrence, will you all be another 10 rounds up?
If we get the British shot, I think it's 12 as a key. If it is, we get Chrissy Keane at 12 rounds, but we don't mind if he's going to come. He'll come into fight anyway, so hopefully we won't have to go that far and knock him out first half.
Anybody else at all?
First thing, talk a bit about how you found sparring at the World Cup with Freddie Roach, and how is it different to, preparing in the UK?
It's definitely different because most of the boys are top class, I was sparring, I think, undefeated world ranked opponents. The first day we went there, we were sparring a Russian guy called Anton Novikov. He's about 28-0, undefeated. He's a world ranked opponent as well, and he's highly ranked. So, at first I was a bit skeptical because I wasn't really too sure of myself. But after I'd done the first round with him, I started to get a bit more confident, and I was able to go out there and kind of showcase my talent as well. So I guess in the end it made me realise that I must be better than I thought, because when I went out there, a lot of them were a lot more experienced, a lot more skilled than me, and I was able to pretty much handle most of the sparring. We also sparred different guys, another young upcoming prospect called Jose Zepeda. He had like 18 undefeated fights with 60 knockouts. Going into that sparring as well, we were a bit worried. I had to keep my hands up because he's a bit of a knockout artist. But within the first round, I was dominating the sparring, and I was on top of him again. So it's made me a bit more confident, and it's made me realise my potential in the boxing game. So it was definitely a great experience. Yeah, it's still on.
So what's brought about the move down in weight?
Well, every time we stepped into a gym in LA, everyone kept calling me a light welter, and I found that weird because I'm comfortable at welterweight. It's tough to make, but Chris thinks I can make light welter, so we're gonna go down to light welter slowly and see how I perform at the different weight class, but. I think I'll be comfortable. Definitely. Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Alright, thank you a lot.
A quick word with Tom.
Alright.
Hi Tom, sorry. You've been a bit inactive recently. Have you been injured, or you've had only one fight in the last year?
No, I boxed in March. About 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you like to be getting out more?
I train all the time, so I'm ready to fight.
Only like 3 times.
Yeah, you've had 3, haven't you, so far?
You've had 3 in the year.
Yeah,
he's had 3, excuse me, sorry Chris.
So yeah, I'm training all the time, sort of just trying to, be ready whenever the fights come up, I'm ready to take them. So really, just trying to stay humble.
Lovely. Last one, Wayne. See if I can get to talk. Talk about your debut, mate. Come on.
It was a great fight. Very busy on it. Never really got hit, really. Just kept me range, kept boxing.
Yeah. And looking to stay active over with the rest of the season. You'd like to get out a few more times?
I'd like to get a few more times. I was supposed to fight 3 weeks ago, but I had to pull out of the chest infection and that. So I had to pull out.
Is that on the Gloucestershire?
Gloucestershire, yeah. But I was getting fit, I was feeling really sparring on that. But hopefully good. Well, get it on the show and put the show on, put the performance on.
Thanks very much, mate. Good job. Thanks.
Okay, that wraps it up. I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. I'd like to thank Fraz and Sean for putting this on here tonight, much appreciated. There is a buffet at the back there. Sorry? There's a buffet at the back there if anybody wants something to eat. Once again, thank you all for coming tonight, much appreciated. Thank you.